Hey there! As you probably remember, back in winter we announced a series of videos describing the process of making our polyurethane or resin cats. Cats which are made by molding as opposed to 3D printing. I believe we released the first episode back in January, and we hoped that we can release all 3 episodes within a month. And that clearly was some wishful thinking, since right now it is June and we are only releasing the second episode. Well, we have lots of work and we have very little time for these videos, even though it is tons of fun to produce them. Anyway, today's episode will be about airbrushing. Airbrushing is little something that we do before the doll is actually sent for assembling. So it works like this: we get the raw parts, we do certain things with the parts, as you saw in the previous episode, and then we do all the coloring, the airbrushing, the just painting of the certain areas, and all of this will be covered in this episode. The video is short, but don't be deceived by this, because airbrushing is actually one of the more demanding stages of the production. So let's take a look. Right now paint is being mixed in a special bowl attached to the pen of the airbrush, to the actual airbrush. And before you apply any paint to the surface of the doll, you have to test it on paper first. Unlike 3D printing, which always comes white initially, all 3D printed parts come in white. Resin cats can be cast in different colors. There is a selection of colors. So all we have to do here with an airbrush, basically, we have to add some variety to the tint. Here we've just applied some pink color to the ears, and now we are applying black on the outer edge of the ear to make it more interesting, like so. Constantly testing it on paper, because the color, the paint, it runs out pretty quickly, and you have to mix new paint every now and then. We continue to apply the paint to the ears. Want to make it a little darker, and also to the snout, to the nose. It looks simple, but it is not. If you make a mistake, well, you will have to find a way to fix it. Here is how it ended up looking. And here we have Mr. Super Clear. It is a Japanese concoction which is applied both before and after the airbrushing. It helps to protect the painted surface. Well, I have the airbrush right here, and let me tell you, it is a very complicated tool, which requires lots of experience to use it properly. And the difficulty with airbrushing is that it is like working with a brush which you cannot see, because the paint is pumped by the air. So this little trigger here, by pushing it down, you control the amount of paint, and by tilting it slightly, you regulate the air pressure. So you can have wide strokes, you can have thin strokes, you can have high intensity, low intensity, and it's sort of very intuitive, but you acquire this intuition over time. You have to spend lots of time with an airbrush to really learn to control it. Smaller details, finer details like the nose and the mouth, it is done with an actual brush. Here Solga is using the nail of her thumb as a palette. Well, because it is comfortable to do it that way. and she's painting the mouth. She's using a very small brush, as you can see here, and she only uses natural brushes because natural brushes, they are far superior than any artificial brush that you can find. And that's it. Just a few minutes of material, and it took us half a year or maybe slightly more to produce this episode. Jesus, I will not make any predictions regarding when the next episode will appear, but I just hope that it will happen within the next couple of months. As soon as we get the footage, as soon as we get the editing done, we'll release the episode. Next up is assembling. If you go to our website, you will find a video on assembling a 3D printed cat. But resin cats are assembled in a slightly different fashion, and that is what we are going to talk about next. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Just go to our website and fill out the contact form. Unfortunately, it takes us usually several days to return all the mail, because we get lots of mail and we also have lots of work, and some people get upset about it. So please don't get upset. We answer 100% of the questions we receive. Just takes us 3 or 4 days sometimes, not always. So don't get mad at us, don't get upset. We are committed to answering all the mail we receive. So if you have any questions, ask them.